Home Buying 101. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jeff Trevarthen here, Jeff the Mortgage Pro. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like these videos, make sure you click the like button down below. And please also hit subscribe if you want to see these videos come out every Tuesday and Thursday. For the most part, try to do the best I can to get them out every Tuesday and Thursday, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But again, thanks so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I'd love to be the one that helps you out on whatever it is that you're working on, whether it's a purchase or refinance here in the US. Today, we're talking about just general home buyers and how do you buy a house in the US? Like, it's a step-by-step process. So let's go through it. The first one you want to do is to assess your financial situation. And this could be things like checking your credit score, figuring out what your debt to income ratio is, and determining a very realistic budget for you to be able to buy a house. Those are the most important things to do before you actually go out there and start shopping, before you start getting qualified for a mortgage, before you do any of the other steps. Make sure you kind of know your why as to why you're out there doing that and figure out kind of what your numbers look like. The second step you want to do is to save for a down payment. So make sure you figure out with your mortgage lender first, before you even talk to a real estate agent, the importance of a down payment. So you may not need a down payment if you're doing a VA loan. You might need a small down payment if you're doing a conventional or an FHA loan. You might need a 20% down payment if you're doing a jumbo loan. So it just depends on your scenario, what you're buying, but make sure you discuss the importance of the down payment and saving up for that down payment first. Explore the different down payment options. You know, like I said, every different type of loan usually requires a minimum down payment of some sort. Sans a VA loan or a USDA loan, those don't require down payments, but make sure you have some extra cash anyway. And then make sure that you save efficiently and effectively to get that down payment. So it could take you a year, it could take you 4 years or 5 years, but let's have a plan in place so that we get that money saved up so you can buy a house. But remember, you don't have to have 20% down typically to buy a house in the United States. Just remember that. That's the main tip on that one, saving for a down payment. Step number 3 is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. And what we're going to do here is to talk to a mortgage lender, someone like myself, someone who can help run the numbers for you. I would say that, like, don't do all this stuff yourself. Like, have somebody like a trained professional like me do it for you so that we can take a look at it real quick and figure out, yep, this is going to fit or this is not going to fit. And we'll figure out what a budget for you by doing that. We want to go through the whole pre-approval process. That means collecting all your documentation. That means doing a loan questionnaire and having an underwriter look at all that stuff to make sure that we're good for a loan. Okay. And then we're going to make sure that we get all that documentation all set up. Things like your W-2s, your pay stubs, your bank statements. Those are things that are typically going to be needed whenever you're buying a house. Okay, step number 4, you're going to find the right real estate agent. So this is a huge step. Make sure that you find a reliable, trustworthy agent. So a lot of people have real estate licenses in this country. Does that mean that you want to use them just because they do it part-time and they do something else full-time? I don't know. It's definitely up to you. If it's a family member, you might have to use them. If it's, not a family member, then you may not have to use them. But if you really need some help trying to find the right person for you, make sure you reach out to me because we've got a good network of people all across the US that can help you out. So make sure you look for a good negotiator and, again, somebody who's trustworthy. I would absolutely say that you should find a buyer's agent to help you find a house. They know the legal process. They know the terms. They know how to protect you when they are representing you. Don't ever try to go directly to a seller or a selling agent or a listing agent and try to double end the deal because you think you're going to get a better deal. It's really impossible, even though it's legal in some states, it's really impossible to represent both the seller and the buyer's best interest, in my opinion. So try to find somebody that can represent you on your side and represent you only and not have to be somebody that's representing the seller as well. Okay. Step number 5, start your house hunt. Okay. Figure out your must-haves and your want-to-haves and kind of narrow that down, determining on, what market you're looking in and figure those things out. Utilize online resources and applications. Like, you could use Zillow to find properties. You can use Redfin. Most of the real estate agents have different search tools that you can use, and go ahead and use those tools to help you find a house. It's much more efficient than it ever has been in today's day and age when you're buying a house. Visit open houses and schedule viewings of different properties. Go out and take a look. Okay. It's so funny. Some people buy the very first house they see. Some people take months or years to find the right house. It's totally dependent on you. And we as lenders and we as real estate agents, we are here to serve you. So whatever your timeline is, that's our timeline too. Okay. Step number 6, make an offer on the property. Okay. Discuss elements of a strong offer with your real estate agent. Okay. Figure out what you need to do in order to get this house under contract. There's a lot of demand over the last couple of years and very little supply. So you might have to do things that you don't want to do that typically are not normal in a normal market. And again, this isn't a general statement, but things like waiving contingencies, you may have to do that in some instances right now. But other types of things, put a little bit more down payment. Real estate agents tend to look at that as a stronger offer. I don't know why, because you're still getting financing for the most part. Like those are all the same, same type of deal as any type of loan. Step number 7, the home inspection and appraisal process. I would always recommend getting a home inspection done so you can see what you're getting into the property. A good home inspector can uncover things that you need to be aware of, right? So it might be something that you can repair later, but if there's any imminent health and safety issues, they're going to want to do that stuff before you actually buy the house, or not buy that house that you're actually going to buy. And then during the lending process, we always ask for an appraisal to happen. An appraisal is just to determine what the value of the property is based on the different comparable sales in the area. And a bank is going to lend on the lower of the appraised value or the purchase price. So if the appraisal happens to come in low, we need to make sure we have a contingency plan. And if you're working with me, we're always going to have a contingency plan like that. Okay. Step number 8 is to secure your mortgage. So once you get into contract, you're doing the appraisal and the inspections on the other side. And then during the process, we're going to make sure our documentation is updated. We're going to run it through the underwriting again and make sure everything looks good for the loan. Any other additional documentation we need, we're going to ask for it. We're going to get all this stuff wrapped up and we're going to be ready to go. And then once we're ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to wire our money as a bank to the title and escrow company or the attorney. And then you're going to put your money in for down payment. And then when all that happens, everything gets closed and we're done with the transaction. It sounds really simple, but there's a lot of moving parts to it. I try to make it easy for you so you don't have to, because you don't need to worry about all the back end stuff that's going on during that time. But for the most part, that's what we're doing when we're securing your mortgage. And then at the end of the day, we are closing our deal. Our bank funds are in there. You have a new loan on the property. You put your down payment funds in there. We record and we actually hand the keys over to you and you get your new house, which is the coolest part about it. That's the funnest thing to see, in my opinion, is people, when they finally get through the process of lending and buying a house. Hopefully it was a smooth process for you. Inevitably, there's going to be some bumps along the road because this is definitely, a lot of people are dealing with a loan or a real estate transaction. There's probably 10 or 15 people who have their hands on it at any one time. But that's the most important part, and the funnest part is when you finally close that deal. Okay. So at the end of the day, congratulations on your new home. I hope these 9 steps have helped you out. If you really like this, I think I'm going to put together a course that you could purchase and you can go out and take this course someday. I'll put the link down below as soon as I get this course put together, and you can learn how to buy your first house in more detail, go through the worksheets and things that I have. But thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you need any help buying a house, I'm going to put my calendar link down below and you can click on that, schedule a 15-minute appointment with me. I'd love to chat with you about buying your first house. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.